It's odd to talk about this on the podcast because I feel like it finished so long ago, but it hasn't even finished on terrestrial
No.
TV. I am, of course, getting along to talking about Peter Kay's superb comedy car share. All six were on iPlayer for a time, and I surprised myself by binging on all six and enjoying them immensely as it went on. I sort of feel like it's finished, although it hasn't.
Yeah.
I'm sort of glad that Carshare was on the iPlayer first because some bright spark in BBC scheduling has just thought we'll put it there, we'll
On
put it here, we'll move it
9:30s,
there.
isn't it?
Just bizarre. But I thought it was one of the best, if not the best, BBC One comedy for a long time. Certainly in the whole time we've been doing this podcast with the three of us, this was for me
Yeah.
BBC One back in its comedy roots. Gary had an interesting thought that I'd like to share with you. Is that he thought Peter Kay was playing it too
Yeah,
Peter Kay like.
I'm not a big Peter Kay fan, which is why I've not enjoyed this as much as you two have. And I'm not a fan of his kind of comedy. I don't know why that is. And I felt like he was playing himself in a stand-up mode. I don't know. I mean, that's my problem with Peter Kay, is that I think whatever character he tries to play, it just ends up being very much like himself too much. And that's why I admire the kind of like the single situation comedy. This is him trying to break into the BBC. You know, this is the first time Peter Kay has really done a series for them. But it just wasn't for me. I don't know.
Yeah, I could perhaps see that on the. If you'd only watched the first one, I could perhaps see that. There's a little bit of a clumsy plot device.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I wasn't a massive fan of the first one, and I think it was a good idea to put it on the iPlayer so you could watch, 2 and 3, because it's the relationship that grows between Peter Kay's character and the character played by Sean Gibson that it develops over time, and you see their friendship growing, and the little sort of the dialogues between them. Everything about it feels real, and the dialogue feels well observed, and you can believe that these are two people. I think as you said, Gary, I mean, it is hard to think of this as a normal guy because it's Peter Kay, and it's Peter Kay not playing a character, it's just Peter Kay playing himself. And if anything, he's having to play the straight man here because Sean Gibson's Kaylee is the more sort of larger than life role, if you were, and they sort of inhabit those two roles throughout the series. And I do like as well the radio station Forever FM.
What I appreciate is the subtlety of it, and the fact that it never really goes ridiculous territory, and it never really goes into a predictable territory. So if you were unable to see all six in the short time that they appeared on iPlayer, they are on BBC One Wednesdays.
Can I say what I think I would have preferred? If Peter Kay had written it and if someone else had been in it.
Possibly. Yeah. I know we say that occasionally about Ricky Gervais.
We always say that about Ricky Gervais.